Vietnam is communist, so they only have state television over there. They only have the one channel. Well, they have different channels, but it's all run by the government. So for us to go there, even as students, we were still technically classed as journalists. So we had, when we touched down in Vietnam, we had to wait in the airport for ages while they like made sure we weren't bringing anything dodgy into the country, or, you know, that we weren't there to like,
upset the government.
Yeah, upset the government.
Right.
And then we had a minder with us the whole time who was actually the coolest girl ever. But yeah, we had her with us the whole time to ensure that we wouldn't be doing anything that they didn't want us to do. You know, we were all journalists, students, so we weren't really like, let's catch these guys out, let's do a big expose or whatever. But yeah, it was cool to kind of experience that. It was really interesting, and it hadn't really even occurred to me, even though we talked about it, the fact that it was communist, like it hadn't occurred to me that we would have a minder and, you know, it would be that experience.
That they would actually really care about you. Like they really are worried.
Yeah. It kind of made us feel more important than we were, because we were like, sweet, they think we're a threat, you know? Right. But, yeah, it was fun. It was amazing. I don't know. Have you been to Vietnam?
No.
It's magic. It's a really, really cool place. One of the coolest places we went was Halong Bay, which is, it's got like limestone rocks everywhere. And we did one night where we stayed on a boat and cruised around Halong Bay, and that was absolutely beautiful. But one of the things that I noticed in Vietnam, actually two things happened when we first got off the plane after we, you know, sat in the airport for ages and they checked us all out and greenlit us to enter the country. The first thing that happened was I walked outside and I was on my phone texting someone, probably my mum, to be like, we're here. And I was like standing in the sort of pickup area waiting for our bus to come, texting on my phone. And these two guys drive past. One guy's on the motorbike, one's sort of perched behind him. And they just speed past and go, yoink, and grabbed the phone out of my hand and just drove off. And I was just standing there frozen. Like, I couldn't believe that happened. That's not the first time that's actually happened to me. In Paris, I got pickpocketed. This was back in the day, I had an iPod that I was listening to in my ears, and I had my hand around it, like holding it, because I was in kind of a dodgy area and I knew that people pickpocketed. But I took my hand out of my pocket for like a second and the music stopped. And I looked down and it was just the headphones just dangling, and the iPod was like gone. No, I didn't feel a thing. I was like, I'd be angry if I wasn't so impressed right now.
Yeah,
it's amazing. So yeah, that happened when the first thing that happened to me when I was in Vietnam, I got my phone stolen. And the second thing that happened was,
do you have any photos on there?
No. Okay. We barely got out the airport, and I didn't want to like piss off the government prematurely by taking photos in the airport.
No, I mean like,
Oh.
photos. Well, there's this boyfriend I had once.
Thankfully, no.
Oh, okay.
But and the second thing that happened was it wasn't just me that noticed, but we were thinking, oh, it's a really kind of overcast day, and then days passed and we realized, no, it wasn't overcast. It was just polluted.
Smog, right.
Yeah, and even you can kind of feel it in the back of your throat, you know, from breathing it in, all the particles, which is kind of sad. My sister's fiance is Chinese and his mum lives in China, and they came to our place a little while ago in Brisbane, my family home, and we have like a sort of flat roof terrace thing in that home, and you can sort of see the city. It's beautiful. And we were there on a really clear night, and my sister's fiance's mother cried because it was the first time in years that she'd seen the moon because of the smog in China.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's a real eye-opener.
Like I said, we go to Japan a lot, and there's that chemical in some certain parts of smog. I'm making this up, MCD or something like that. There's some poisonous chemical when they all combine, and it floats over to Japan at certain winds, and everyone in Japan is so upset. That came from China, you know. And
that's sad.
Yeah, but I've actually watched Japan kind of skies clear up in 10 years.
Right.
It's like they've got less. You know, everyone has scooters in
yeah.
Say China and Vietnam,
Yeah,
definitely.
they've got heaps of them. Yeah, and they wear the flimsiest helmets ever, and it freaks me out. I only saw one scooter crash when I was there, though.
Yeah, right.
People are amazing drivers, good like defensive drivers,
Yeah.
getting out of other people's ways. Anyway.
Yeah, but I remember working in Sydney at a scooter shop actually, and my job was to take the bikes in and out, and it was just at Cremorne, so it was a really busy Sydney road.
Mm-hmm.
Every afternoon, the bikes were just covered in black soot, and I was
my
and I'm like, what's this?
Yeah.
Like, looking up at the sky time, and the guy that lived there forever goes, "That's just from the cars, mate. Every day, like the cars, it's just the smoke going out of the exhaust pipes, falling down the bikes, and then every day was like sweeping the floor, getting this black soot off everywhere." So imagine a million bikes and cars in China, and without the emission stuff that we have. We have all these clean new cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and
that's Japan's kind of gone that
it?
way. It's a bit clean now.
Yeah, yeah.
But that is so sad.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
To not see the moon.
Yeah, I know. And it just like, you
It's
don't
so good
think
for
about
you
stuff
too.
like that,
Yeah, and it being the monkeys we are, we need things like the moon. It affects your happiness. You don't even know.
Yeah,
like,
it's amazing.
I've got something to say, but I won't say it. It's too creepy. But, well, actually, I will say it because it's not creepy.
Yeah.
I recently found... Why am I saying this to you? Why am I saying this?
I won't judge you.
The female cycle is based around the moon, okay?
Yeah.
And back in the day before... I'm bringing this whole thing around, Nicole. Right?
Let's talk about this. I'm interested to hear what you say.
Back when there was no electricity...
Yeah.
The female cycle everyone would, when the full moon would come out, everyone would get their P word, right? Okay, I'm grossing myself out.
You can say period,
But
it's okay.
Can I? All right,
Yeah.
I'll let you say it. Right?
You can bleep me later if you feel uncomfortable.
And since we're not outside looking at the moon all the time, that's for some reason now, women change with their friends and
Right.
or whatever. I'm getting too deep. But imagine if you're in China and, obviously that's a natural thing that we're supposed to feel. Yeah. And you can't even see it.
Yeah. How interesting. Wow. You were telling
Why are you looking
me
at me so
things
strange
that-
now?
No. This was just not where I expected this conversation to go.
Oh, me either.
But you know what? I don't hate it. It's fine.
I feel really sorry for them.
Yeah.
How beautiful is an Aussie sky?
Yeah, it's
And we don't
nice.
get pickpocketed.
Yeah. No, I've never been pickpocketed in Australia, have you?
No, I haven't even seen a beggar. If you do see a homeless guy, maybe one in a year.
Yeah. It maybe like
not
more
homeless,
in Sydney
who
and
actually
Melbourne.
asks you for money.
Yeah. I always feel inclined to, buy them food and stuff like that rather than money.
Yeah. But how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
How's your first podcast? Yeah.
It's so fun.
It is,
I'm having a great time. This is fantastic.
I always say, when was the last time you honestly spoke with your friends with some headphones on? I think that's half the trick. You can't hear anything else. But we're forced to not check our phones. I definitely would have checked my phone by now.
Yeah, I know. It's good. I'm not like a super dependent phone user, but I really like not being with my phone. It's nice and it's liberating. And I think it's so easy to default back into that, thing of just checking your phone because it's there and it's just a habit. And for me, I don't know, I'm not that cool. I don't have that much stuff going on my phone anyway. So if I check it every 10 minutes, not much has changed,
Wow. That's why you will do good in this because you speak to some big names. A social media, I'm like a nut person. I just feel like, oh my God, that would be great on Facebook. If I took a photo of that, it'd be so good. Oh my God, I get so many likes.
I do, look, I do like Instagram a lot.
Yeah, me too. That's
great.
my new one. I really, I'm into that.
Yeah, I posted a picture yesterday at the pet shop with the macaw. They have an amazing macaw over there.
I've seen it.
Yeah, this is going to very quickly turn into a therapy session if I bring this up, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have a bird phobia. So, so that was a big moment for me holding a macaw because they're big. Macaws are large. They're about the size of, I don't know, probably larger than a kookaburra. I'm just trying to think of something that people will
most definitely
know. But yeah,
Luigi, you're even fidgeting and struggling just
I know,
talking about
I know.
Why? I had one of my girlfriend's mums was she was frightened of birds.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize. I was kind of ashamed for years to admit that I was afraid of birds because I thought everyone would think I'm a freak, and a lot of people do. But there are a lot of people out there that are also afraid of birds. So if you're listening to this and you're afraid of birds, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Although I did face my fears yesterday and hold them a call. I think. Look, I think it all started years ago when my sister and I were bike riding, and she got swooped by a magpie. I've never been swooped by a bird aside from one time at uni where a kookaburra like flew down. I was eating hot chips at like a cafe, and the kookaburra like swooped down and like slapped me in the face with its wing and grabbed the chip out of my hand and just flew off with it, which was terrifying. But yeah, my sister, when I would have probably been like maybe 8, and we were bike riding, and she got swooped by a magpie, and it just looked terrifying. So that's probably how it all started. And then actually I think it was exacerbated in Paris because the birds there, like the pigeons, are just so disgusting. You know, they're like full on city birds. I imagine it would be the same in like New York or any big city.
Gammy legs and all sorts of weird.
Yeah, and like when they
everywhere.
flap their wings, like bits of weird stuff fly off them, and it's just like horrifying. So you don't want to get anywhere near them. So I think that aversion only increased when I was in Paris. And so now I just haven't been able to get it out of my head that I'm scared.
You obviously didn't have a budgie yet when you grew up.
No, well, my mum as well. My mum's a bit of a greenie, and she's not really into like caged animals, you know. So she was never really into caged birds. We did have chickens. A lot that just kind of hung out in the backyard and laid us eggs and stuff like that. Yeah. I love chickens, especially when they're little babies, and you get them when they're really young, and you can like they fit in the palm of your hand. Yeah. And if you put your other hand, something's
it's the back door.
Oh,
yeah, but whoa!
It was like an earthquake for a second there. It's the birds. Terrifying. Yeah. Don't say that, I'll have a panic attack.
Have you seen that movie, The Birds? It's a really old film, The Birds.
Never
I saw that when I was a kid. That was freaky.
Never seen it.
All these birds just decide to like, and then there's this like classic get back to what you're saying. The in the park, and like someone looks over and there's one crow just looking at them and going like, I get a creepy feeling with this crow. Next minute there's 2, 3, and then
oh my gosh, yeah, I couldn't do it. That's a Hitchcock film, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't watch that. I could not watch that. I have seen.
All right, so you're touching birds. You made with steps.
Right. I was going to say I've seen the cheap equivalent of that Birds film, Black Sheep, which I think is a New Zealand horror film.
All right.
It's so good. It's a great B movie.
Yeah.
If you want to see like a good kind of animal attack movie, I think Black Sheep. I'm pretty sure it's called, where all of the sheep in New Zealand just go rabid and like kill people. It's awesome.
Sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of stuff, it's
I can
really
almost
good.
see the fake blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was back in the era of squibs too, so it was like full on, blood squibs like in an 80s film. Like Die Hard when they pop out of you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they had that, so it was like really kind of cool and gory. So if you're into that, Black Sheep is.
Have you ever done modeling or film or?
Yeah, little bits and pieces of everything. I actually played a journalist in a TV show.
Secrets and Lies.
Yeah,
it was
Secrets
you.
and Lies.
Right.
Yeah. Which was just kind of a funny thing that happened. It was when I was in uni, and someone said to me, they're looking for someone who kind of looks like a journalist and talks like a journalist, and they're looking for people, and I sent them something of yours. I hope you don't mind. And I said, no, that's fine. Like, just thinking, what is this? It's weird. They just said that they wanted me to come and do it. And
where'd they film?
Yeah, we filmed in Brisbane. We filmed at I'm just trying to think, around like Ashgrove sort of area. We filmed at a house, and we were like hounding the guy who supposedly was suspected of killing the child. I don't want to give too much away, but do you know what? I haven't even seen it.
Right. Yeah,
I picked it up. I was at JB Hi-Fi, I don't know, a few months ago, and I picked up the DVD case because I saw it in there, and there's a picture of me on the back, like you know, amongst
Awesome.
this pack of like this fake media scrum. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this. Like, it was so
Awesome.
funny. Yeah. But